Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. It feels so good to be back building in The Sims 4 and I have a real treat for you today because I am doing something that's completely outside of my comfort zone and I'm making an apartment block in Mount Komorebi, which is the world that shipped with The Sims 4 Snowy Escape. It has been so long since I've built in this incredible, beautiful world, and I thought this world deserves some love and some TLC from me. So yes, with The Sims 4 for rent due to come out in the next few weeks, I decided that this would be a really good build to share with you all and a build that hopefully you can utilize when the new pack comes out. So I really hope you have some sort of use for this. So here we are working on the exterior. I do go through a fair few changes with this build, but we eventually do get there in the end. I was working for a reference image, which I will pop on screen for you now so that you can sort of see what I was working towards. But this is a little bit of a process because, as I was saying at the beginning, this is so unusual for me and so unbelievably uncomfortable in a really weird way. But after I'd finished it, I felt so good about myself and I was like, oh wow, I can actually do this. So I cannot wait to just share more builds with you with this new pack and everything else coming up. I'm just so excited, I really am. So this apartment block actually consists of 3 separate apartments. So we've got one on the ground floor, one on the middle floor, and then one on the top floor. They each have slightly different floor plans too. So the apartment on the ground floor actually has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a kitchen living space. And then the middle and the top floors have 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom and then a kitchen living space. It was really important for me to include different dynamics, like for different family dynamics and different floor plans because, you know, I figured apartment blocks in real life have different floor plans. If I'm not mistaken, someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I can't imagine that apartment blocks, if they've got like 50 apartments in them, say, this one doesn't, obviously it only has 3, but if it's got like 50 apartments, I can't imagine that they've all got the same floor plan. They've probably all got different floor plans. So I thought it was kind of cool to mix it up a little bit. I fully furnished the unit on the top floor. And then the ground floor and the middle floor, I've partially furnished. So I've placed the bathrooms and then the kitchens. So then it's sort of up to you guys to decorate them as you see fit, which I'm thinking is probably a more popular choice for you all. I can't imagine that you would probably want me to decorate each and every unit because, you know, it seems a little bit like you can't put your own stamp on it. But if you want some inspiration, then you can definitely use the top floor as that inspiration and then you can just decorate as you want to. So yeah, currently working on the exterior here. I went through so many different changes with this build. I up until this point, I was like, this isn't working, so I'm just going to demolish it. I've been struggling building these sort of like multi-dwellings, if you will, so like apartment blocks, townhouses, duplexes. I've been struggling so bad. My brain's trying to get into gear, ready for the new pack to be released, and I think I finally hit the ground running with it because I've also started building another build today as well. And these builds are actually part of a super special project as well, which I can't say anything about right now, but once I'm able to, I absolutely will. So yeah, I'm just really thankful and really excited to sort of share this with you. And yeah, you'll be able to download it from the gallery and things like that once it's available. But yes, I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. I had so much fun with this and I was initially thinking, okay, so I want to build sort of like the concept image that I had. I think it's like a 3D sculpture image sort of thing. So it's not real life, it's not realistic. So it was kind of hard to sort of transfer that to The Sims and make it look semi-functional, realistic, and sort of work out how I could sort of fit this into this world, because this world is not a world I'm too comfortable building in because I'm not too familiar with the architectural style. And with me being not too familiar with it, I don't want to just like dive in and do things that are inaccurate or incorrect. So I just figured like this kind of fit in, and I thought it was really, really cool as well because obviously when The Sims 4 for rent, like such a mouthful. I know so many people are like, really, The Sims 4 for rent? Is that really the name that you came up with this for this expansion pack? I'd have to agree. But where was I going with this? Where on earth was I going with that? I'm not entirely sure. Oh yes, okay. So when The Sims 4 for rent releases, it means that you can build multi-purpose dwellings, i.e. you can have numerous families living on one lot in any world that you see fit. So I figured this is kind of a really cool idea, because this is a world that I feel like is definitely overlooked by myself. I'm definitely going to put that disclaimer out there. I don't think it's overlooked as like a general thing within the Sims community, but I don't know. I felt like this world needed a little bit of TLC, a little bit of care, and a little bit of attention. So that's what I decided to do with this build. I really hope you like it. I'm so pleased with this. There's so much detail that went into this. There's so much love, and yeah, I really hope you like it. I did a lot of things off camera, just as a disclaimer. I say a lot of things. It wasn't really a lot, I would say. It's just that because it's quite an uncomfortable sort of like build style for me, and I don't mean the style of the build, I mean like the fact that it's an apartment block, and something that so many simmers have done and have executed so beautifully. I'm not one of those people. I tend to be quite safe when I build my builds, and I'm trying to come out of that a little bit more. I've spoken about it in numerous voiceovers quite recently, actually. It seems to be a topic that I seem to cover quite frequently at the moment. But I'm sort of like, I'm trying to push the boundaries with myself. I'm trying to push myself to build more things and different things, to try and better myself as a builder, if I can call myself that. I'm definitely trying to better myself, and this is definitely one way to go. It's building an apartment block. And yes, I understand there's only 3 apartments, but I figured it's kind of a good starting point, because if you've got 3 families living on here, that's going to be pretty overwhelming, you know, in terms of if you've got like, so if you've got like a gameplay thing going on, you've got one family on the top floor, one family on the middle floor, one family on the ground floor, it's going to be kind of overwhelming for you as a player to kind of switch between the 3. And I figured if I did an apartment block with like 20 apartments, that's going to be even worse. So I feel like this could be a really good starting point, you know, for when the pack comes out and you're like, you know what, I want to live and play in Mount Komorebi, and this kind of, I want this build to be your go-to. I want this to be like, oh, that apartment building that RachelPedd built, yes, I'm going to download that. I'm sorry if that sounds really big-headed, but that's kind of what I wanted this apartment block to be. So yeah, I add many things outside. There's a car park, there is a children's playground, which now that I'm thinking about it, I believe I did the children's playground and the car park off camera, because you see all this space here, like where the grass is. When I built this, I sort of went away and then I came back to it a bit like the day after, and I was thinking, what can I add that's going to make this more interesting? So here's the car park on the left. I think it looks like I do the playground on camera, which I'm really pleasantly surprised about. If that is the case, we'll have to sort of see together how this gets along. Yes, I do it on camera. Thank goodness, honestly, because I was thinking when I was taking the screenshots, I was like, did I even do this on camera? And it's really cool because there's like things for toddlers and things for kids. And then I added like these splash pad things from the Growing Together pack, but they're not splash pads. I just sort of added them as like decor pieces to sort of make this area pop a little bit. And I figured, because it's built on concrete, I thought, I know this doesn't matter in The Sims, but like with a little bit of realism here, if anyone were to fall off the monkey bars or off the swing, then they've got a little bit of padding to fall on. So that's kind of what I was thinking with this. So if that's the wrong way to think, please let me know. But yeah, I just figured that was kind of a cute thing. And I've never used these before, so I thought this was kind of like such a perfect opportunity to do so. So you can see here, there's so much going on. We've got balconies here off each of the units, apart from the ground floor one. We've got like vending machines, we've got bikes outside, we've got cars outside. It's so cool, and I am so pleased with how this turned out, considering I was so uncomfortable building this to start off with. I think I just kind of took to it and I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna roll with this. I really am. I tell you one thing I did do off camera, just looking at the back of the building here. because it took me so long to try and figure out how to even section off these units. I put the stairs at the back of the build so you can access the ground floor unit through the double doors, and then the middle and top floor units you can actually access through the back through 2 sets of stairs, or a set of stairs if you're accessing the middle unit. But I thought that worked kind of perfectly and it was quite realistic, and I didn't want to lose any space by adding like a reception area because it's quite a small unit in terms of like an apartment block. So I figured it would be best. Anyway, so we do start working on the interior of the top unit, which, as I was saying at the beginning, is the only unit that I fully furnished. The other 2 units are partially furnished. So there's like a little bit of a stepping stone for you guys to sort of move in and put your own stamp on it. So yeah, this is it here. So you walk in and directly you are met with the kitchen. I did use the counters and the appliances from the Home Chef Hustle Stuff Pack because I've spoken about this before. I don't feel like I use these as often as I probably should or could, and that's complete oversight on my part, but I feel like I don't really do many modern builds, and the appliances and the counters, they're really quite modern when you look at them here. You know, like we've got like a half wood paneling sort of situation, and they look like they're probably quite shiny. There's no handles visible. It's super modern, and it's not something that I'm too comfortable building with. So I just figured in an apartment block like this, which has maybe been recently refurbished, I thought it was kind of perfect. And I also add plenty of clutter because my sort of envisionment, if you will, for this family is that it's a young couple and they've just welcomed their first baby to the household. So there's a young couple and their infant child. So yes, super happy with this. I can't wait to show you the bedroom because it's really funny. I don't normally like the bedrooms that I create. Let me be very specific. I mean the bedrooms, like the main bedrooms. I love decorating kids' bedrooms. That's my jam. I feel like you can have a little bit more fun with kids' bedrooms, but I feel like with main bedrooms you can't really. But I seem to shine when I can do a main bedroom that has an infant in it. So that's what I did with this apartment unit, and I just loved it because I figured like you could have different family dynamics in each of the units, which is why another reason that I wanted to try and mix up the floor plans, etc. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. So we do then, so we're almost finished with the kitchen unit. Yep, we have finished with the kitchen area of the apartment. Now we've moved on to the living space. It was really important for me to keep this open plan because I feel like that's more realistic for an apartment. I used so many items from the Growing Together pack, which I didn't even think I was going to do going into the interior of this build. I kind of just thought I want to make it really homey and really family friendly, and like the young couple that's moved in here, they've kind of made it their own. They love this apartment unit so much, and they were so happy to welcome their little bundle of joy. And yeah, they just take they take a lot of pride in where they live. So it was really important for me to get that across. So yeah, this is the living space. I absolutely adore this space. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And again, I made so many decisions and I was like, oh, I can put that there and that there. And then it was looking a little bit too traditional. I'm doing the air bunnies, traditional for my liking, but I think I kind of found a really nice mixture between modern and sort of like traditional styles. I think it worked out super well. And then you'll start seeing me here adding like infant clutter because I sort of thought, okay, I don't really want to make this for just a couple. I kind of want to introduce like a different family dynamic in here, and it feels like it's been a little while since I've introduced like an infant into a build. So here we are, here's the tummy time playmat. They also, I envisioned, had like either a cat or a dog, so there is a pet bowl here too, which is kind of nice because I know a lot of apartment units don't allow pets, but in my opinion, in my head, this one does. Being the owner of 2 puppies myself, my little babies, it was really important for me to sort of allow that within the gameplay. So if you don't have pets installed, or if you're not interested in your family having a cat or a dog, then just remove the pet bowl. It's really no big deal. I just thought it works. If your family has a cat, you could add a litter tray if you wanted to. I don't tend to do that with my builds because I feel like that's really specific. And I'm saying that knowing full well that I go super into detail with the family dynamics. But yeah, anyway, so the living room is pretty much coming together. I love how this looks. I was trying to search for, you know, the basket that came with base game, the base game update when the infants were added, and it has the toys spilling out of it. Here we are. I was like, where is that basket? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to add there. And then I finally found it and I was like, oh, hi. So this is the main bedroom here. So I love how this looks. I think it looks wonderful. The bathroom is not an ensuite, although if you wanted it to be, then you could just move the door onto the sort of diagonal wall there. I just figured if the family had like family and friends round, then at least the bathroom is completely accessible to everyone and they don't have to go through a bedroom. I feel like that's quite personal, you know, when someone has to go through your bedroom to access the bathroom. I'm like, hi, why are you in my bedroom? So I was like, yeah, let's put the door on the outside. So yeah, I used this bed from the Growing Together pack. I use this cot, I think. Is that from base game? Or is that from Growing Together? It's from one or the other. I can't quite remember. I put a little rocking chair here as well. It's just, I love adding infant stuff to a main bedroom. I love it so much. It's the sweetest thing ever. I just think it's adorable. I don't know what it is. Does anyone else find this? Or do you prefer like building completely separate nurseries? I like doing both, but there's something about this that just makes things seem so much more personable and sweet. It's like, oh, so cute. Anyway, so this wardrobe from the, again, Growing Together pack, I believe. It's like a super slim wardrobe. And I've been noticing we've been getting a lot of these with recent packs. And I'm like, thank you so much, because wardrobes don't need to be chunky. They really don't. So if you've got a smaller bedroom like this, it's kind of perfect. But anyway, we are coming to the end of the video, so you can stop listening to me ramble now. Ooh, let's breathe a sigh of relief. If you'd like to download this apartment block from the gallery, my origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, will be linked down in the description description box. Yes, the description box just down below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to hear your comments, read your comments, and give you all the love in the world. But thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.